humbled. Being a rapper and then coming to be around Bishop Jordan and Reverend Ike is a extremely humbling experience, being that I'm from the street, from the hood. Like he said, I was still smoking weed when I got there. Came in with no shoestrings in my sneakers and ran through all my money, ran through my first marriage. I was ripped apart, and I knew that I had to find something better than what was happening to me. So I turned the television on, and there was Bishop Jordan. First it was Benny Hinn, and he was too far away, and I didn't believe it because he was laying hands on people and they were laying all over the place, so I couldn't believe that. But then there was a black man on television, and he said he had the word of the Lord. So I didn't only need, at that time, somebody to preach to me about the Bible. I need to know what the hell is going on. That's how I looked at it. I was sitting there with a joint in my mouth. I want to know what's going on. Why ain't I selling no records? Why is my bottom falling out? So I said, this is a hop, skip, and a jump. Jumped in my BMW, and I drove to the city, to the Doral Inn. And Bishop didn't even know what rap was. And I was sitting in the back of the church, no shoestrings in, had my leather jacket. And he said, stand, young man. I was happy. I stood, put my hands up like it was a stick-up. And he said, I hear the word of the Lord for you, and thus saith the Lord in me. And I was like, this is cool, because he was saying things that only I knew about me. So therefore, God gave me the sign that I'm in the right place, because the things that he was saying to me, again, only I knew. So I said, you know what? I made it through this way with rap. I just want to know what the rules and regulation of this God thing is. So I went and got a big Bible, because I didn't want to miss no information. I wanted to know the biggest Bible that they had in the store. And I didn't realize it was just big because the words were big or whatever. But I thought that, you know, if you got the biggest Bible, you ain't going to miss something. So I got this big, huge, heavy Bible. And I said, whatever this thing says, I'm doing. Because this is not what it used to be. I'm not in the presidential suite no more. I'm late on this car payment. My life is falling to the bottom. So whatever this man says, I'm doing. He had his children and everything was in order. I had my life and it was hell. So I said, I'm going to do whatever he says, especially after he prophesied that word to me. I kept going, and I was ridiculed for going to a church. I was an usher. There's a story where I was an usher one day at the back of the church, and some kid came in with his mother, and he probably was pulled in off the streets with his mother, said, come on to church with me. And he got in there. He said, Mom, that's Run DMC. I ain't no daggone Run DMC. You're thinking about that rap stuff too much as it is. And as he sat down, he looked back at me and said, Mommy, I'm telling you, that usher over there is Run from Run DMC. And he just kept looking back, and I'm standing, I just winked at him. And he left baffled, and I just kept doing everything that I was told. And I think the difference between what I do when I got to Bishop and what everybody else do when they got to Bishop, they don't listen to everything. And the difference between what I did with the Bible and between what other people do with the Bible is I listen to everything. In Deuteronomy 28, it says that if you do these bad things, it's just the worst thing ever. Take you down the block, smack you in the head, beat your wife down, give your wife to another. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on about how many bad things he's going to do to you if you don't do right. It's the scariest scripture I ever read in my life, ever. And if you're in a position I'm in at that time and you read what Deuteronomy 28 says, you don't want to do that, and you don't want to go through all this stuff that they said is going to happen to you. And they said, if you do this, and you're hearken, and this was the voice of God, so I just did everything I was told. And at this point right now, I am only, and this is the truth, standing on Bishop Jordan's word. The only thing I have, the reason why the sneakers are going to do $200 million this year, and the reason why it's confounded Russell. You heard Russell Simmons say the only reason why he's successful is because of my connection to Bishop. He doesn't want to say that. He has to say that. Because he couldn't get Fat Farm sold. It wasn't going too well because Leo said to me, I said, you know what, because Bishop taught me to always be under authority. And I told Leo Cohen, who's the head of Def Jam at that time, I said, listen, I'm here and I'm under Russell's authority. He said, listen, this is a shared thing. We had some very funky seasons over at Fat Farm you don't know about. This thing is good for everybody, and I just know to keep my head down at all times. That's all I know is keep my head down. But what Bishop Jordan has done, not for me, but for my family, and not for my family, I'm talking about my extended family. I'm talking about Russell Simmons, Kamora, Ming Lee, and everything that's going on in our lives has been living off of a word. Years ago, 5, 6 years ago, Bishop prophesied, you're going to be working at Fat Farm. Now, I'm out on the road with DMC and Jay, and I'm like, let me just take that word like I always do and put it in an I don't understand file, because I don't understand. That word has come to pass. And it's exploded so big. He constantly says, do you know the sneaker company is doing double everything that I am doing? It's doing double. And he still doesn't know why or who is buying the sneakers. And I keep telling him over and over, Jesus got the sneakers on. Not only do we not know who's buying the sneakers, the people that's buying the sneakers are not the same people that's buying the clothes. They just chose us. And Bishop told me the other day, he said, we know why they're buying the sneakers. It's because of the word of the Lord, number one, and because of the tithe, because of the giving. And the only thing that I know is when I got there, Bishop would say to give. And when you come into a church out of the street and from the hood, you know that in your mind, this nigga is a ripoff. This is what you're thinking. He keeps asking for my money. But I liked it. Because I said, there's got to be something to this because I don't really got no money left over. So I'm giving 1,000 here, 1,000 there, which at that time, 200, 300, it wasn't no money, but it was all my money. So I just kept giving my money and giving my money and giving my money and just doing what I'm supposed to do. And I saw things starting to slowly improve. They were just improving and improving and improving. And I realized at that moment that the only business I'll have for the rest of my life is giving. I don't have a business called a sneaker business. I don't have a rap business. I only have a giving business. So when they get their stuff and they say, Joey, we got to go to Magic. That's where they go sell the clothes. I said, y'all go on to Magic. I'm going to go with Bishop Jordan and create magic.